honest, revealing. The stories hitting home from Wall Street to Main Street. Award-winning journalist David Faber hosts CNBC's Business Nation.
Bert and John Jacobs, the youngest of 6, grew up sharing bunk beds and an entrepreneurial spirit. In 1989, the brothers took to the road, selling T-shirts that they designed, printed, and sold, all out of their 15-foot minivan.
Our brother took us to an auction. It was the only one available, and what we did was we pulled all the seats out of the back.
We called it the Enterprise. We wanted to go where no T-shirt guys had ever gone before.
But where they seemed headed after 5 years on the road was out of business.
We had $78 left in the bank, and who knows what would happen, and then along came Jake.
Jake was, at that time, just a sketch John drew on an apartment wall. Beneath his winning smile, the brothers wrote the simple message, "Life is good." They brought Jake and his optimism to a street fair in Cambridge, Mass., and the rest is history.
We sold 48 shirts in 45 minutes, and it was the fastest thing we ever saw sell.
It was stunning to us and almost scary. Now we had to figure out what to do with it.
Bert, the company's chief executive optimist, and John, chief creative optimist, seem to have figured it out. What began in their 15-foot minivan today is outgrowing more than 150,000 square feet of space in Hudson, New Hampshire. The majority of their business is online.
Thank you for calling Life is Good Online.
But they also sell in retail outlets, like their flagship store in one of Boston's high-end shopping districts.
First year that we actually sold Life is Good to retailers, I think we did $82,000 in business. And then went to a little over $250,000 the next year, which is not a lot of business in top-line revenue, but to us, we almost fell out of our chair. We couldn't believe, $250,000.
Sales continued to soar, and soar, and soar. Life is Good will have more than $100 million in sales this year, all without spending a dime on advertising.
It's funny because our roots were in hawking in the streets and asking people to buy shirts. And I think Jake's cooler than both of us, and people come to him.
And the Jacobs go to the people, believing strongly in their wish to make life good for everyone, especially in times of national crisis.
Questioning everything right after September 11th. And a few of our key managers were kind of walking around saying, is our message possibly not appropriate now? We kind of put up Jake and said, this is our hero. Remember, this is our leader. What would Jake do? One of our employees said, why don't we try to help the families? We ended up raising $207,000. At the end of it, we said, okay, why should we only do this when there's a disaster? Maybe we could do this and sort of weave it into the fabric of the company 365 days a year.
Now, Life is Good supports children in need. Its most recent event was at Boston's Fenway Park and raised more than $800,000.
Look what's happened. What comes from the card table in the street and selling the T-shirt. And now it's hundreds of thousands of people doing something with momentum. And at the center of it, there's Jake, the little thing that John drew and put on the wall. We'll never know all the good that a simple smile can do.
Raw, honest, revealing. The stories hitting home from Wall Street to Main Street. Award-winning journalist David Faber hosts CNBC's Business Nation.